Good day, everyone. It's a pleasure to address you on sustainable agricultural water management. Now, if one wants to talk about agricultural water management, I will just take you through some introductory remarks. Look at water in the world. Then, of course, very important, the sustainable agriculture. And then water management in all its different forms, and then some concluding remarks. So first of all, in terms of agricultural water use sector, is the largest of all water use sectors in the world, and they are using approximately 70% of surface and groundwater yields annually. So there's a big competition, of course, for our scarce resource, as there is increasing pressure from governments that water must be reallocated to other water users. And of course, we need to be more efficient, we need to be more sustainable, we need to use our water smartly. So just to give you an idea of the amount of water, there's 110,000 of cubic kilometers of water, no more, no less. And that is being utilized by the different sectors. And you can see there in the middle part is irrigated agriculture that utilize 1.4% of that total volume of water. And if one go back to 2013, where the Stockholm Statement was made, where there was a call for sustainable development goal on water, we found that water is an essential part of almost all the different 17 goals, especially, of course, goal number 6, clean water and sanitation. And then, of course, if one look at goal number 1, no poverty, because that is very important together with zero hunger, and that is where water is being utilized to grow food. So there's a global opportunities for better efficiency and resources conservation in the water, food and energy supply chains. And the idea is to improve components of the food production supply chain with respect to water and energy use, as well as reducing food wastage. So there are different trends in terms of what the industrial age brought with us, and that is the quick rise in population. There are more people to feed. There are greater need for production. Farms required to produce more. The increase in urbanism, less farms to do more work, and widespread ecological impacts. So if you just look at different scenarios in terms of the global population going forward, we are now 7.5 billion people on Earth, and the predictions by 2050, we will reach 9.7 billion people. And of course, the trends in urbanization is that more people is moving to the cities. And that means that we need more food in terms of supplying that to growing nations. And you can see the change in global population between 2010 and 2100, with Africa where the biggest growth and change in global population will take place. Now, if you look at the hunger map, and there is a new one that has just been released for 2020, but in essence, it is the same, and that is that there are 821 million people that do not get enough to eat, with Africa that is in a region of 240 million. So in terms of the climate change and agricultural yields, there's a huge impact due to climate change. And you'll see Africa, India, Australia, South America, there might be a change between 5 and 25% in agricultural productivity going towards 2080. So by the year 2030, the following should have been achieved: a doubling of global water productivity, a realization of the human right to safe drinking water and sanitation, increased resilience to water-related disasters, and of course, increase of food production. So the challenges that we are facing is the demand for food. 1 billion people are threatened by hunger. 2 billion people cannot afford a healthy diet. And as I've said, the additional drivers, population increase and additional demand for food. So food production need to increase. The forecast is that we need at least 42% more until 2030, and going towards 2050, 70% more. So the Global Food Security Index, again, you'll see the red part is the weak or the bottom quartile, and that is mainly in Africa, and you'll see India, South America, moderate, other parts are very good to good. And what is needed to sustain food production at present, you can see the dotted lines, that mean the present production. But to meet the demands by 2050, we need to increase the maize production by 67%. So there's a game-changing solutions are needed to produce more with less. Just a quick look of the water in the world. We know water is essential for life, and it is one substance that one cannot go without. And of course, irrigation plays a significant role in applying the water to the crop for growth and to get better improved yields by applying it efficiently. So over thousands of years where people started to irrigate using basic infrastructure and irrigation equipment, they've moved now towards more modern type of irrigation equipment, applying the water to the crop very efficiently and grow crops. But of course, there are impacts of growing populations, rapid urbanization, increasing standards of living, and that coupled with climate change means it impact on how we are doing our work in terms of supplying food and fiber. So if you look at the water, 2% is in polar ice caps, there's 97% in oceans, and we only got 1% available for use. So in total, the amount of water, as mentioned earlier, 366 quintillion gallons of water. That is that 110,000 cubic kilometers of water that is available on Earth, but only a small portion is available as drinking or for use as irrigation. And that is for more than 7 billion people on Earth. So in the last century, populations has tripled, water consumption increased sixfold, but more people got the cell phone than a tap of water. So if one look at the water, water sustains agriculture. Water, of course, sustains industries, water sustains energy, and of course, water sustains life. So it's very important that we conserve it, we looked at it. In terms of the different countries, you'll see the dark blue countries are countries with more than 50,000 cubic meter per person per annum, and the lighter colors, countries with less than 1,700 cubic meters per person per annum. And there's areas of physical and economic water scarcity all over the world. And of course, to sustain food production, we need to increase the water requirements for food production. You can see going to 2050, we have to increase it up to 10,000 cubic kilometers per annum. And most of our water is natural rainfall, filling up dams and spreading it over to the different sectors. And of course, agriculture is utilizing 70% of that total available water, either surface water or then groundwater. So it is very important how we use it, and you can see the different countries, how they utilize it. The pinkish color, more industry related, green, more agriculture related. So agriculture water used by countries, you can see China, India use more than 365 cubic kilometers per annum. The green parts are in the order of 10 to 25 cubic kilometers per year. And Benjamin Franklin once said, when the well is dry, we will know the worth of water. And we know, moving towards 2030, number of people will be affected. So we need to be more water smart, because water is the key to food security. Water is not just for primary production. Water for agriculture connects us all together. And there are different efficiencies that we had to look at and improve on that in terms of from flood irrigation to state-of-art water management, where we can achieve 100% efficiency by applying it correctly. Sustainable agriculture, of course, is the ability to meet the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. So we need to look sustainable in terms of an integrated system of plant and animal production practices, having a site-specific application that will, over the long term, satisfy human food and fiber needs, enhancing environmental quality, enhancing the quality of life for farmers and society. So there are three components: environmental health, economic profitability, and social and economic equity. And if that is in balance, it means it is sustainable. And if you look at the different components, I will not go into much detail of that, but very important, we must produce the best quality food for the consumer, nurture the environment, and preserve energy. Same with the economic profitability. It depends on the human economics and natural ecosystems. And then, of course, the natural market premium. If successful, equity will be recognized by the farmer. In addition, the farmer may get government favorable interest rates. So water management, different irrigation systems are being employed, but there's a whole range of agricultural water management, from field conservation practices right through to surface water irrigation. And we must endeavor to achieve the following with agricultural water management: increase, intensify production, reduce risk, diversify production, increase efficiency and save time, and renew, sustain natural resources. So in terms of irrigated agriculture, only 300 million hectares out of the total cultivated area are being irrigated. So it is a small portion, but still that small portion provide at least 40% of the food that we require. So irrigation plays a significant role, and you can see the growth over a number of years. From 1950, of course, there's a decrease moving beyond 2020 in terms of the hectares per 1,000 people. And 20% of the total agricultural land area that are being irrigated supply about 40% of the world food, and people are moving to more efficient irrigation systems like drip irrigation. Very effective, efficient, and that apply the water correctly to the crop so that it can grow optimally. So there are different systems like the drip, like the micro sprinkler, like our big movable automatic systems applying the water, but also some gravity irrigation system designed correctly, applying the water efficiency. So in conclusion, sustainable agricultural water management, we need agricultural sustainability is a must if we want to be able to produce food for the generations ahead. Agricultural sustainability is complex and needs to cover the whole food chain from production to consumption. And of course, there's what we refer to as the water, energy, food nexus. And that means we need to move towards a green and bioeconomy for sustainability. We need to improve on water efficiency from 60 to 95%, energy efficiency from high to low, food efficiency. We mustn't waste food because that also saves water if we can save food wastage, and apply technology to improve food production. So we must think about our youth going forward in terms of what they will be left with in terms of our actions at present. So we need to sustain water and practice good engineering principles. There's a lot of technologies available, and of course we need to farm smart and use our water effectively. Thank you very much.